So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of the Trading Every Player rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Los Angeles Clippers. I was actually a bit surprised when I went back through the catalog of Trading Every Player's rebuilds that I've done, and surprised to see that I hadn't done the Clippers. Clearly a lot of big names on this team right now. They're playing some very good basketball after a relatively slow start after they added James Harden. Clearly the names are here, the talent's here. And yeah, we're going to have none of that today. So I'm sure many of you do know how these videos work. In case you do, I will explain it to you real quick. Before year one kicks off, I have to trade away this entire roster. At no point in time may any of the players that are currently on the Clippers come back. And the end goal is to obviously win a championship. I absolutely love this series. It seems like you guys have been enjoying it as well. And if you are, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section. It's always good to make sure I know you guys are actually enjoying watching these videos as well. Because, yeah, without you guys, I'm nothing. So I really do appreciate it. Of course, any other video ideas you guys have down there as well would be greatly appreciated. And, yeah, man, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and trade away every single player on this very talented Clippers team. There's really not a lot of purpose in wasting time going over the roster, so I guess we're just going to dive right into it and get into some of the big trades because, yeah, they are going to happen. So something I am interested in is, does Kawhi Leonard's overall go up? He does if you move him to the small forward spot. So I'm going to do that. I have no say in the trade. Okay, maybe not. Hopefully there's at least one trade option for Kawhi Leonard, because if there is not, I am screwed. Okay, there's one. There's literally one. And it is De'Aaron Fox and Keegan Murray. Well, I mean, it's not exactly an ideal situation only having one trade option, because clearly that, again, kind of takes away our options, but it's better than none. And, you know, when we run into none, it's not good. So I'm going to take it. It's not exactly my favorite, but yeah, I mean, we have no say in these trades anyways, and now they're really not giving me any say. So De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray, welcome to Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, enjoy Sacramento. God damn, that sucks. Paul George is next. Kawhi also just signed a contract extension with the Clippers in real life, and Paul George is working on one. So 6 offers here for Mr. Paul George himself, an elite two-way wing. We're going to scroll through right now, and we'll stop right about now. Feels good. Lauri Markkanen and John Collins. What are my other options? I didn't even really see it. Şengün would have been fun. That would have been including Keegan Murray. This would have sucked. Honestly, I can live with Markkanen. Markkanen and John Collins, not the worst trade in terms of value in the world. It definitely could have been worse. Okay, Mr. James Harden is going to be next. Been playing some really good basketball lately. Is technically not eligible for an in-season extension, but I have a feeling they'll re-sign him in the offseason. So let's scroll through all these, and we will stop 3, 2, and 1. And that is Bojan Bogdanovic and Joe Harris. Our first bad trade has officially landed. Oh, Siakam would have been, oh my God. Literally almost any of these would have been better. I mean, not, oh my God. Oh, man, Bam Adebayo is here. Oh, that's, Brunson's here. This kind of would have sucked, but I would have taken it. Oh, God damn it. Bojan Bogdanovic, Joe Harris. Enjoy Detroit, James. God damn it. All right, I guess that's part of it. You got to struggle through some of these. So now we'll start combining players. So Zubac and Norman Powell will be in this next one. We have 20 trade offers for these two. Really talented, kind of a role players, if you will. We'll stop here. We're actually going to go one to the left this time, and that is Mitchell Robinson and Evan Fournier, or it would have been D'Lo and Hachimura. So you know what? I will take that. We have to figure out spots because we're getting a lot of guys that are definitely capable starters. So we're going to have to figure something out, but we'll get there. Plumlee and Highland are going to be next. I know Plumlee was injured for a while. I think Highland was actually out of the rotation for a minute, which don't quote me on that. And stop one to the right this time. That is Dario Saric and Chris Paul. Bringing Chris Paul back to Los Angeles, or it would have been Thibault and Brown. So I guess that's actually a really good trade, if you will. I'll definitely take that. So continuing to go on here, we've obviously made a plethora of moves so far, and they're not stopping anytime soon. So Daniel Tice, or was it Mann that was out of the rotation, or was it Highland? I don't know, man. I'm getting confused. And stop. And that is Chuma Ukiki and Joe Ingles. We do give up a second-round pick. It's not like the Clippers have tons of draft picks to give up anyways. So I think everybody from Ukiki here is good, right? We've traded everybody. Okay, I'm pretty sure anyways. So it's a lot of some of the lower bench pieces. Brandon Boston Jr., Josh Primo, who's not a great human being. But we will scroll through in one of our final deals here, and now we'll stop. Isaiah Joe and Jalen, that feels like an absolute home run. That feels like a really good trade right there, and definitely something I can live with. Okay, we scroll on. I think we should have what? Is it just Kobe Brown? I don't do the guys on two ways. I'm sure many of you know that. I believe Kobe Brown should be the last guy, unless I'm missing somebody. Hopefully I'm not. But he's 1.5 stars, 6 options, and we are going to make a trade with the Sacramento Kings for Juan Toscano Anderson. Okay, I want to just confirm. I believe that should be everybody. I'm hoping I'm not missing anyone, but I don't think I am. I think I'm good. So I can't obviously make any other trades. That's another rule. After I trade away the entire roster for year one, I can't make any other trades in year one. Just kind of another challenge of the video, but I'm sure many of you know that already. So I'll probably move some positions around. There's really not going to be any other major moves. Some positions around, then we're going to set the rotation. All right, so I went ahead and made some changes just to positions, and they're maybe not the best changes, but it's what we're going to have to do for year one. So hear me out on how this whole rotation is going to shape up. De'Aaron Fox is going to clearly be our starting point guard. There was never any really question about that. He's clearly going to be in the starting lineup. There was a thought to maybe have him and Chris Paul both start. Decided really wouldn't be the best fit. So Fox going to be the one. I'm starting Isaiah Joe here at the 2. We got very lucky in that deal because we were kind of shit out of luck if we didn't get him. There's no really other good shooting guard options on this team. I moved Markkanen from the 4 to the 3, and the reason I did that is because I want Keegan Murray to play. Bojan Bogdanovic and Lauri Markkanen probably could have started at the 3 and the 4. Ultimately, I want to get minutes to the young guy in Keegan Murray. I think it makes sense. So he'll be our starting 4, Robinson our 5. So that explains the starting lineup. The bench unit's going to be anchored by Chris Paul, 6th man bringing him back to Los Angeles. My hope for Chris Paul, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself right now because clearly we have an entire season coming up, but I hope he doesn't retire because I want to trade him this offseason. And if he retires, we're kind of, again, shit out of luck. So hopefully he doesn't. Bojan Bogdanovic going to be our backup 3. We have John Collins here as technically our backup center. Chuma Okeke is our backup 4. And then I moved Joe Ingles from the 3 to the 2. He took a 3 overall hit, went from a 75 to a 72, but really just changes the overall. It really doesn't change much else. So I can live with it for 1 year is basically what I'm trying to tell you. So obviously led by Ty Lue. He has an interesting team here, entire new roster from probably what he was expecting, if you will. And yeah, just another friendly reminder when I do these rebuilds. One, I clearly start at the beginning of the season. And then second, I don't turn off previously traded draft picks. So every single draft pick that the Clippers have shelled out so far for, you know, whether it be James Harden, you'll think back to the Paul George trade, those aren't with me. I don't have those. So just another note to keep in mind when we get through this rebuild. I'm not going to have as many assets as I normally do, but we do have a good team, and I will see you guys at the end of year one. Year one is over, and it was really fun. 58 wins on the season. I will definitely take that. I mean, again, this was a good team. Clearly, there was talent here, both young and old, but ultimately, you throw together a roster before the first game kicks off. You don't really expect much. I'll take it. Luka Doncic averages a 37-point triple-double. That's probably going to be good enough most years for the MVP. Chet Holmgren's your rookie of the year. I'm very interested to see, you know, what is going to end up happening. I mean, at this point, I don't want to discredit any of the other guys. I mean, Jaime Jaquez Jr. is having an amazing rookie season, but it's a 2-man race between Chet and Victor. I think that's a pretty safe bet. James Harden is, wow, he wasn't even starting in Detroit. I'm assuming he was probably backing up Cade, but you really couldn't find a way to get him into the starting 5. Interesting. Giannis is your D-boy. Jalen Duren, most improved. Damian Lillard, clutch player of the year. Ty Lue wins coach of the year. So maybe we had the best record. That's just typically how it works. I mean, I see we're the 1 seed there in the West. And, yeah, maybe. Oh, my God, we had the best record in the league. So, I mean, again, just a fun season all around. Thinking championship-wise, we might still be a few pieces off, but nonetheless, very, very fun first season, and hopefully it's going to be some successful playoffs. So, boy, defending champs here in round 1. Not my favorite matchup. I mean, best player in the series clearly is with Denver. Jamal Murray just goes to a whole nother level come playoff time. And really good pieces in Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon. So I am nervous. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Not my favorite first-round matchup, but we do take a 2-0 lead. We make it a 3-0 lead. We just swept the defending champs in round 1. Okay, now we're moving on to MVP Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Dante Exum. Interesting. I feel like this is almost 3 point guards in the starting lineup, but I know. Different fits. Zubats is now there. We traded him there. What was the trade? What did we... I don't even remember. Okay, so let's see what happens here in the West semis. We're 1-1 right now. We go up 2-1, up 3-1. Don't blow this. Oh, my God. Don't do this to me. Oh, my God. Well, we blew a 3-1 lead, which is never fun. Oh, my fucking Lord. That's insane, right? I mean, that might be one of the crazier stat lines I've ever seen in 2K. Donovan Mitchell putting on a pretty good stat line himself. Oh, my God. And the Cavs going to win it all. Donovan Mitchell averages 39 points a game on 63% from the field and 45% from 3. This man wanted a damn championship. I respect the hell out of it. Oh, fuck. This is where I knew we were probably going to get screwed. And so I'm sure many of you are just going to say, well, hey, why don't you just override it? Maybe I could, but I think we all know damn well I would have just traded the guy. And that feels a little cheesy at this point in time. You know, if I had a say in the trade, I probably wouldn't have taken it, but I didn't. I have to live with the consequences now. It's part of the challenge. So Chris Paul is gone. We obviously lose a tremendous six-man, one of the greatest point guards in NBA history. And yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's just kind of the way it goes for me sometimes. So draft lottery, we're not going to have anything in here. That's relatively obvious. It's the Spurs. The Magic were bad. Wow, that's a bit of a surprise. Ty Lue's not going anywhere. I mean, I know it's tough to explain a blown 3-1 lead, but he has good ratings. He led us to the best record in the league with an entirely new roster. So I'm good with it. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what we got. Do we have any draft picks at all? We do not. And we really don't have anything else, as I kind of mentioned before we kicked off year one, to build upon in the future. So just something to keep in mind. We do clearly have some talent. We probably have 4 out of 5 starters for next year figured out. But we definitely got to get that fifth. So let's find a trade. While this may not be the smartest trade on paper, it definitely feels a need for us. We get a guy here in Bradley Beal who, although is 30 plus years old, making a shit ton of money, we get another star, if you will, and a guy who can score the basketball at an elite level in Bradley Beal. On top of that, we do get a draft pick. So Mitchell Robinson may be a surprise in this trade for some of you. I do have a plan, though. Just stick with me for a second. Robinson and Bojan Bogdanovic are going to be going to Phoenix. Beal and a first round in 2026 are coming back here. That trade is done. Mitchell Robinson's a very good basketball player. Don't get me wrong. I think he's replaceable, though. I really don't think it's a make or break for me. Now what I'm going to do is move John Collins and just kind of glance at some of the other center options we have. A guy like Clint Capella could come in here. I could even keep John Collins at the center spot. So I'm not necessarily stressing out about it like crazy. I think there's multiple options here, and ultimately getting a guy in Bradley Beal is definitely going to help us, even if we are going to see a little bit of regression from him. So Clint Capella is 4 years older than John Collins. I do think he is a better basketball player, though. Maybe not the best trade in the world, but it's definitely one I can live with. So we're going to make this. It's a straight up 1-for-1 swap. We have our new center, and we definitely have our new shooting guard as well. So the starting 5 is complete, which is definitely very nice. We're not going to be drafting anybody right now. I think we all knew that. Murray, Joe, and I'm actually going to bring back Fournier as well. He could be a piece for me to get a draft pick, bench piece, whatever it may be. Chuma Ukiki is a guy that's going to be my backup power forward next year in all likelihood. We look at free agents. He's really our only one, it looks like, unless I'm just missing somebody. Joe's good. Oh, yeah, we definitely have some more free agents. Also, Jalen Williams spent a year in the G League. He could be my backup center. Maybe I just move on. I'm not really sure yet. So I'm going to get Okiki back. I need to figure out a backup 3. And then clearly with Chris Paul retiring, I need to figure out a backup point guard. So the options are not going to be great by any means, but we're going to see what we have to work with. What I'm actually going to do is bringing in a guy like Luke Kennard, who's the scariest fucking picture I've ever seen in my life. Could be a good shooter for us off the bench. I mean, he's 6'5", maybe play him at the backup 3. Wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. And then I'm going to wait on Ukiki, and then I do have to figure out the point guard spot still. But other than that, we're pretty much all set. I mean, we have a guy in Evan Fournier we can move who's going to be an expiring contract. We have options. But bringing in Luke Kennard, who... No, he's not a Clipper. Okay, I knew he was at one point, but I didn't want to make sure I wasn't bringing anybody back. So Kennard is going to go to the backup 3. Goes up a couple overalls. It's always nice. I'll have Williams rock the backup 5. We're definitely going to hurt our bench a little bit, but again, we improved the starting 5. So Fournier preferably for some sort of backup point guard. I don't really want to give up much, so I'm not really expecting much in return. We have 3 trade offers. Oh my God. Yeah, this is kind of all what I expected. So we'll just go a different route. I'm actually going to sign like Seth Curry, and then I'm going to include him in a trade. We'll wait on Okiki as he is restricted. James Harden has 22 offers. Holy shit. How much is Okiki going to cost me? About $5 million. Not bad. Okay, so I'm glad to get him back, and then now we got to figure out a trade for a backup point guard. So Curry, Fournier, what are we talking here? Seriously? That's it? Jesus Christ, that is not a lot of trades. Can I move Isaiah Joe to the point guard spot? Probably not. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Hit my desk. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I thought the market on Fournier would be a little bit better. What happens if I include a first? Seriously? Good God. These are just dog shit. I mean, I don't really know what you want me to do at this point. Can I just keep trying it with other players? I mean, Chris Paul retiring really just screwed us over. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. Just kind of what happened, honestly. Okay, now we're getting some more off. Okay. I'm going to do this, and I know it's not a nice way that I got to this point, but giving up a single first-round pick to solidify our bench is good. I think that's definitely going to help us. I know I'm going to move KCP immediately. I mean, Isaiah Joe is already a higher overall. He's $13 million cheaper, and he's 6 years younger. So him, and then I don't even know. Do I even have to move Zeke Naji? I wouldn't mind hanging on to him for a trade piece in the offseason. So let's just see. I need a point guard, right? I mean, let's just find me somebody. It doesn't need to be like the elite of the elite. Rui Hachimura, honestly, would be an upgrade on the bench. Naz Reid is a fun idea. I like Naz Reid. I'm sorry. I'm trading. I'm a big Naz Reid fan. I think he's very, very good. I still think he's underrated, even though people continue to talk about him now. But yeah, which just means I guess Troy Brown Jr. is going to have to find me a backup point guard. Oh man, I know I'm just taking way too long to do something that's really not going to be that big of an impact in the long run, but it's worth it to me. I don't really want to trade Zeke Najee, but getting a guy Io, I could probably move to the point guard spot. I saw Devontae Graham. I'm sorry. Fuck it, give me Gabe Vincent. Okay, we got a draft pick back, which is nice. Holy shit, I will see you guys at the start of year 2. Last year we won 58 games and had the best record in the league. Unfortunately, that resulted in a blown 3-1 lead in the playoffs, and we decided to make some changes. Chris Paul ended up retiring. We traded for Bradley Beal, had it upgraded the backup or starting shooting guard spot. Made a trade, added Clint Capella. I think these are all moves that are going to benefit us in the long run. So the bench is definitely a little bit worse. That is fine. I'm very excited for what this year could be. Starting 5 is as follows. De'Aaron Fox, Bradley Beal, Lauri Markkanen, Keegan Murray, and Clint Capella. I'm actually a bit surprised to see that there's not as much regression on Beal as I thought there could have been, but I'm fine with it. Isaiah Joe will remain our 6th man. Naz Reid is going to be our backup center. You got Gabe Vincent in here, Luke Kennard, and Chuma Ukiki. So I'm excited about what the idea of this team could be. Again, I think our bench is a little bit worse than last year, but I can live with it because the starting 5, I would say, is a little bit better. So I will see you guys at the end of year 2. We improved by 5 games from last season, which even I thought was a little bit impossible, but we go to 63-19 this year, assuming it's the best record in the league once again, and hopefully a little bit more playoff success. It'd be nice. Luka Doncic, back-to-back MVPs. It's not a triple-double this time, but it's still damn impressive. 47% from 3, holy fuck. Alexander Sarge, Rookie of the Year, he is in Orlando. They had the number 2 overall pick. They went with him. Looked like a good choice. Cam Thomas, 25 points a game off the bench. What's the most points per game a 6 man of the year has averaged? Like, I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, could it have been from Manu? Could it have been like Lou Will? I don't really know, but I can't imagine it's 25. Victor Wembanyama is your depoy. Dyson Daniels, most improved. Trae Young, clutch player of the year. Ty Lue, 2nd straight coach of the year. Okay, let's dive into some standings. 10 games up on the Thunder for the best record in the West, and we were the best record in all of basketball, 2nd straight year. Okay, numbers from our players. Bradley Beal comes in, takes over as our leading scorer. Beautiful. De'Aaron Fox, Lauri Markkanen, Keegan Murray, Reed, Isaiah Joe. God damn, Nasri's so good. I wish he was on my Celtics. Capella led us in boards and then assists Mr. De'Aaron Fox. Round 1. Us and the Lakers. Wow, got the Battle of LA here. They have Austin Reeves, a washed-up Klay Thompson, Jayshawn Tate, Vanderbilt. Anthony Davis is still here. Yeah, I mean, if LeBron was there, I'd be a little bit more nervous. I'm not trying to discredit them whatsoever, but I just don't think. Yeah, thank you. All right, 2nd round here. The team we beat in round 1 last year in the Denver Nuggets. I'm still nervous, even though we swept them last year. It doesn't make it any easier. We do go up 2-0. They do win Game 3 and Game 4. We take a 3-2 lead, and we are in the West Finals. We are taking on the Thunder, who I'm sure many of you know throughout these rebuilds are not a very fun team to face because they have tons of young talent, tons of draft picks, and all of their players develop very, very well. So let's see what ends up happening. Okay, up 1-0, up 2-0, up. That was way easier than it should have been. But when 2K blesses me, I don't question it. All right, De'Aaron Fox, Western Conference Finals MVP. Joel Embiid, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. It is us in the 76ers. Maxime, we got Malik Monk at the starting 5. Zachary Rizic, Chimezie Metu, Embiid, D'Anthony Melton. So it looks like they lost out and no longer have to. Oh, wait, did I have? No, I didn't have Tobias Harris. I don't know why I thought I traded for Tobias Harris. I did not. But Tobias Harris isn't here. So, yeah, Malik Monk replaces him in the starting 5. We go up 1-0. We go up 2-0. This is just. Are we going to cakewalk to the easiest championship of my life? Don't get me wrong. I thought this team had championship talent. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't feel like it's going to happen. And this was kind of one of those seasons, but I guess 2K is going to prove me wrong. I'll see you guys in there. All right, man. We are going to win a championship. We're going to sweep the 76ers out of their own building. And I can't say I'm like, I don't want to say I'm surprised, but I'm a little like mildly shocked, if you will, right? I mean, I didn't think that we were going to be this good. I mean, I thought this team could be competitive. I didn't really think that we had, 63 or whatever wins and then maybe like one of the better playoff runs I've had in a while in 2K. So I don't know. I mean, I'll definitely take it, but I'm happy. I'm happy nonetheless. And yeah, I mean, there's not really much to talk about. I guess we can talk about the actual, I almost said 76ers, the actual Clippers right now who have been playing very good basketball recently. Everybody was all over them when they ended up, oh, that's a foul. Really? Everybody was all over them when the James Harden trade didn't look like it was going to go too well off the bat. And then they kind of found their roles after a little while. So, I take the Clippers as a very, very serious threat in the Western Conference. They truly are. I don't think some people are just because of the history of the Clippers. It feels like somebody's always injured. And while I do agree that, having a somewhat aging roster of stars, I want to say, that's probably the best way to describe it. You hold out hope that, all 4 of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook will be healthy heading into the Western Conference playoffs. But I don't know. I wouldn't bet money on that. I just think it's a little bit unrealistic at this point in time. So that's not to say I want to be dismissive of them, but I truly do think that, you got to bank on that, right? I mean, you got to bank on that, because if one of those guys go down, and obviously some of them would be more impactful than the others, it's going to hurt you no matter what. So I'm really hoping it goes well, man. I think Clippers fans deserve a serious playoff run, and I don't know. You got to stay healthy. You got to be cautious with kind of what you do. You don't want to force anything. You don't want to force guys to play. I know Kawhi's missed a few games recently, and I'm very excited to see how the Clippers do, because they are a serious threat. They got guys there, 3 of them, and Paul George and James Harden and Russell Westbrook, who haven't won rings. And ultimately, at this point in their career, I didn't know if I were actually going to have a chance, and it looks like this year could be their best chance. So I'm excited nonetheless. Clearly, the Clippers are committed to Kawhi and PG. Just signed Kawhi to an extension. PG's is all likelihood going to be coming. So interesting, man. I'm happy for you, Clippers fans. I know that new arena is opening soon. You definitely need some stars, so good for you. All right, final possession here. We're just going to blow by Tyrese Maxey. I will see you guys with the Finals MVP. We go on to sweep the Philadelphia 76ers, and De'Aaron Fox. Beautiful series out of him is your Finals MVP. Just a fun season nonetheless. We see some retirements there. Reggie Jackson somehow made his way here. I have no idea. Hall of Fame inductee is Russell Westbrook. That would have sucked. Russ can't win a ring. I hope he does at some point. Draft lottery, and not seeing any Clipper logos. Spurs have 1 and 2. Holy hell. I'm not going to make many major changes with this team. Ty Lue will clearly stay on as our head coach. We will head up to the draft. Just want to check. Do we have any picks this year? We do not, which is fine. I can live with it. Keegan Murray definitely coming back. Naz Reid declines. He's somebody I got to make sure I pay some money to. Cannot lose out on him. Bird rights. We have some free agents here. Larry Markkinen, 100% a priority. Isaiah Joe, same thing about him. I have to get Capella back, and then I'll wait on one more day for Naz Reid, because clearly I can't do 4 in one day. Okay, other than that, we are in a pretty good spot right now. Naz Reid, let's just $14.5 million, he accepts. So we get all 4 of these guys back. There's going to be a decision made on whether or not I want to keep Bradley Beal. He played very well for us, and I don't want to discredit that, but we all know damn well what's going to happen. That regression is going to hit, and it could turn into a problem. So I might have a trade, I might not. Just hang with me. This trade might be a little bit unnecessary, but it's one I'm going to make. It's not a swap of draft picks of any sort, but Bradley Beal is going to Memphis. Desmond Bane is coming back here to Los Angeles. Naz Reid is not a player I want to give up. I actually would have loved to have kept him, but ultimately we're getting a guy back in Jusuf Nurkic who it's not crazy to have him as our backup center, right? I mean, if Naz Reid was starting, I'd be a little bit more hesitant, but he's not. And yeah, this feels like a good trade because Bane is younger. He's making less money. He's not going to regress. You guys get it. So now comes the decision. What do we want to do with this bench? Because I think there are still a few upgrades out there. I'm comfortable with Nurkic, clearly. Okiki can maybe get an upgrade. Kennard, maybe the same thing. And honestly, I know Vincent regresses, so I actually might do that first. It's just weird. I don't really know why this happens so often, but he does. If I needed a real backup center, I'd probably take Nick Richards. Or actually, maybe I will take Nick Richards. I'm actually going to do that. And then I'll go ahead and I'll trade whatever the hell his name is, Jusuf Nurkic. I don't have to do this, but ultimately, I think he's a little bit more valuable. We can do this and maybe find a solidified backup point guard. I don't know. Just looking, just glancing. Could bring in Drew Holiday. He's just unfortunately a little old at age 35. Scary Terry could be fun. He's 31, but honestly, as a backup, there are definitely worse options. So you know what? Let's go ahead and add Terry Rozier to this team, making a trade with the Charlotte Hornets. We do give up a draft pick in a trade exception. But I'll just move Terry back to the 1. I know he can play there. He is only 6'1", yeah. And okay, so he's our backup point guard. Isaiah Joe I'm good with. Have to decide. I think Kennard's probably fine for like a 10th and final man. I would not mind upgrading Okiki. So McGowan's Okiki, draft pick, power forward. Just find me somebody. Nikola Jovic progresses very well. And we get Bronny a championship. That'd be fun. Okay, man, let's go ahead and make this trade. I'll see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final regular season. After a 63-win season resulting in a championship, we were ready to go here for the 3rd and final regular season. We made some changes at this team, changes that maybe weren't necessary, but you guys know I don't like leaving teams exactly the same year over year. So very excited about what this year could be. De'Aaron Fox, Desmond Bane going to be my backcourt. You have Markkinen here at the 3. Keegan Murray at the 4. Clint Capella as our starting center. The bench unit got a little bit better. Going to be led by Terry. I almost said Scary Terry Rozier. Scary Terry going to be our 6th man. Isaiah Joe backing him up. Nick Richards, Nikola Jovic, and Luke Kennard. So very, very fun season ahead of us. I will see you guys at the end of the final regular season. 3 straight MVPs for Mr. Luka Doncic as we wrap up year 3 with a record of 62-20. I will definitely take it. Cooper Flagg's rookie of the year. He is a Spur. Him and Victor Wembanyama next to each other is terrifying. Kyle Kuzma, 6th man of the year. Wow. Surprised how Kuzma gets to the bench. Victor Wembanyama, I believe that's back-to-back. D-Poise, Jaden Hardy, most improved. Didn't he average 20? Oh, right, no. What was Cam Thomas average 25? I always see Jaden Hardy win 6 Man of the Year. That's why I was curious. Clutch Player of the Year is Mr. Tyrese Maxey and Ty Lue. I think that's 3 straight Coaches of the Year. Beautiful. You truly do love to see it. All right, best record in the league for the 3rd straight season. We are, that's the wrong button. And we are hoping for another championship. We got one last year. I'd like one this year. I think it's a relatively simple formula. We got a better bench. Added some more talent. We're ready to go here. So, round 1, us in Dallas. The team that actually beat us in year 1. No longer have Kyrie Irving, but definitely still some talent here. And I would be remiss to blow by them. So I'm not going to just skip over the fact that Luka Doncic has won 3 straight MVPs, because clearly it's not going to be an easy series. We're up 3-2 right now. We do advance and win in 6. Denver, once again, we just cannot avoid, oh my God, Derek White's up to an 86. And he's a really good addition. So, yeah, again, it's not easy. I know we've beaten them back-to-back years, and I guess we just fucking own Denver. I don't really know. Portland here in the West Finals. You got Scoot Henderson, who's not having the greatest rookie season this year. Shaedon Sharpe, Ron Holland, Ousmane Dieng, DeAndre Ayton, who hasn't fucking played. And, well, he has, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, there's no reason this team should be in the Western Conference Finals, with all due respect. Is this the fucking Wizards? What? Okay. One, I don't know how the hell they're even here. Why Evan Mobley is here, I have no idea. I don't know why the Cavs let him go, but thanks for... Oh, did that go to 7? Wow, that actually was stressful and more stressful than I thought. All right, nonetheless, we get 2 championships. That's all I was really looking for. This was fun. You know, I think we put together a pretty competent team, a team that definitely had some success, and a team that I really enjoyed. So I hope you guys did as well. Of course, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. We're always looking for new series, new challenges, whatever it may be. I know you guys are all creative. I hope you all do have a really good weekend. I will see you guys all Monday. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.